4. Focused on you.
Right now at 4, St. Louis police are looking for 2 people accused in a violent attempted carjacking overnight. Thanks for being here at 4. I'm Kay Quinn.
And I'm Brent Solomon. Police say 2 men shot at the driver and his passenger as they were trying to get away. 5 on your side's Diamond Palmer live at St. Louis Police Headquarters for us. Diamond, fill us in.
Well, Brent and Kay, police say that 2 armed men tried to take a pickup truck in Tower Grove South, and 3 victims were inside of that pickup truck, and police say that those victims refused and actually tried to flee the scene, but they say that's when the suspects began firing at those victims. Now, this all happened around 3:15 a.m. overnight in the 4200 block of Beck Avenue. The victims were parked in the area when the suspects pulled up next to them in a black car. They demanded their pickup truck, and the victims tried to drive away, but that's when one of the suspects fired a single shot, hitting the truck's passenger, who was grazed in the leg. They drove to safety at a nearby Quick Trip gas station on Gravois, where they called police. This afternoon, police say it's a good reminder to always be aware of your surroundings.
No matter the circumstances, you should always be aware of your surroundings, specifically as it relates to trying to limit your possibility of potentially becoming a victim of a carjacking type situation. If you're going from point A to point B and you wind up parking, if at all possible, avoid kind of lingering in your vehicle.
Now, police say this is an ongoing investigation and they are still looking for these 2 suspects. Live at St. Louis Police Headquarters, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
All right, Diamond, thanks. New developments now in a deadly shooting in Cahokia Heights that left 1 teen dead and another hurt. Right now, police searching for Michael Hunter from Belleville and Scorian Cortez Johnson Jr. from Granite City. Investigators say they killed 16-year-old Markel Staples and injured a 17-year-old on Thanksgiving. Both are considered armed and dangerous. If you know anything, contact Cahokia Heights Police at 618-825-2681.
A tow truck driver is dead after being hit by a vehicle on Interstate 255 near Columbia, Illinois. Illinois State Police say just before 10:15, the tow truck driver was loading a vehicle onto his truck. The driver walked around the truck and was hit by an incoming vehicle. Police say the victim died. The other driver remained on the scene. The highway was shut down for about 3 hours during the investigation. A Barnhart man is dead after he was hit by a car in Jefferson County overnight. It happened last night on Highway 61 near Cedar Drive. The Missouri Highway Patrol says Christopher Kelch was in the roadway when he was hit by a Nissan Altima. He died at a hospital. The driver of the Nissan was not hurt.
Tonight, MoDOT wants your feedback on a busy stretch of road in St. Louis. Route 100, also known as Choteau Avenue and Manchester Avenue. MoDOT is hosting an open house meeting to get your input on improvements that will make the road safer. The meeting goes from 5 until 7 p.m. at the Booter Recreation Center.
Well, after a frigid few days, temperatures pop back up this afternoon. Most areas hit 60. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell here with more on this mild trend. Scott?
Yeah, definitely a beautiful afternoon across the bi-state area for sure. And we're looking at temperatures staying at or a little above average, it looks like, as we head right on into the weekend and early next week. But we do have some rain on the way. Ahead of that, we're starting to see those high clouds. This is a sunset alert for you. It's going to be gorgeous tonight with those high clouds streaming in. Still 59 in Forest Park and Lake St. Louis. It's 58 in Mascoutah, Illinois, 55 over in Alton, but still close to 60 around St. Louis. Temperatures to our north and northeast a little cooler. You can kind of tell where the strip of snow was from this weekend out in Kansas. Wichita is only 45 degrees right now because of the snow and the sun's energy being used to melt that instead of warm the air. Look at this. 23 degrees above where we were just 24 hours ago. Isn't it nice? That's a look over in Belleville right now as you see those high clouds streaming in from the west. We have a pretty sunset. It's going to be a nice evening. Temperatures will drop off, but it's not as cold tonight as it was last night. Tomorrow, the clouds continue to thicken. We will see the rain developing later tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night, and a steady rain for Thursday night. Steady and badly needed. More on that in a few minutes, Kay.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Scott. A last-minute push is on to extend the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas free more hostages and get more aid into Gaza. And we've just learned a second American hostage has been released.
That's right. As the deal is set to expire tomorrow, the Secretary of State is heading back to the Middle East for negotiations. NBC's Alice Barr reports from Washington.
More hostages released today, shown in this Hamas video amid a flurry of diplomacy in the final day of the temporary truce between Israel and Hamas, seeking to extend the fragile agreement.
Its continuation, by definition, means that more hostages would be coming home, more assistance would be getting in.
Overwhelming relief for the dozens of families reunited as hostages kidnapped by Hamas are exchanged for Israeli-held Palestinian prisoners. But now, potentially devastating news. The Israeli military says it's assessing a Hamas claim that the youngest hostage, Kafir Bibas, his 4-year-old brother and their mother, were all killed. Hamas blaming an Israeli airstrike without presenting evidence. The news coming just after a rally for the family in Tel Aviv where balloons as bright as the children's hair soared to the sky. Israel's prime minister renewing his vow to destroy Hamas when hostage negotiations are done. U.S. officials urging against an Israeli assault on southern Gaza without a plan to protect civilians seeking refuge there.
The United States has urged Israel to take every possible measure to prevent civilian casualties.
On Capitol Hill, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, the highest-ranking Jewish elected official, speaking against growing anti-Semitism and a haunting history of violence.
No matter how well we're doing, it can all be taken away in an instant. That's just how it is. We only have to look back a century, a few generations, to see how this can happen.
Incidents of Islamophobia are also surging. In Vermont, the FBI and ATF investigating the shooting of 3 college students of Palestinian descent as a possible hate crime. The community calling for peace. As lawmakers on Capitol Hill debate more funding for Israel, the U.S. is sending humanitarian supplies to Gaza, with the Pentagon saying more shipments of badly needed medical supplies, warm clothing, and food will be going out in the coming days. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And you can get the latest news on the hostage release by texting the word Israel to 314-425-5355.
Big changes on the local healthcare scene, the 2 hospital chains that will soon be under one ownership.
And you might want to plan to stop for gas tomorrow, even if you don't have to fill up, where you can get 40 cents off a gallon for 1 day only.
Sights of the season, when you can watch crews flip the switch on the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree.